Hello there, one and all. Welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town. My name is Eric, and you may call me Eric, and with me is Gibby, who you may call Devin.
I note that you skipped what episode number we're on, Eric. You
I
didn't say what
never
episode
say the
number it
number.
is.
I never say the episode number. Only you do that. And I'm surprised it took us until episode 79 for us to call that out.
Episode what to notice it? What episode is it?
79?
And what episode did you tell me it was last week?
79.
So this is the real 79.
Yeah. It was bound to happen at some point. You didn't keep track of the episode's number anymore, and I just, that's what happens.
Between a fake episode 79, between the episodes having different titles on YouTube and on different services, people are going to be like, this series is so hard to follow. Yeah, so Eric will edit the episodes and post them, and sometimes I'll look and go, that title's not clickbaity enough, and then I'll change it to what was it, like strippers on a boat or something, sexy dancing on a boat,
something like that.
For last
but
episode,
then that was not the original name. For YouTube and not for everything else.
I don't know how to do everything else.
You do. I've walked you through it.
Anyway, do you have any more sexy dancers on a boat stories?
Not, kind of.
Let's hear them.
Okay, so, as for anyone who listened to the previous episode, I was on a cruise. Big cruise, big stuff to do. One of the things that I did was trivia. And trivia is, usually held in, they have, a pub on it. And so, I believe I said it before, this was a family cruise, so my parents, my sibling, Qui-Gon Jinn, and we did trivia, and my mother was not there. And it was just my father and Qui-Gon Jinn, and we got a score of a 16 out of 20 or something. And we were like, okay, let's wrap it up. What should we do next? And, my father noticed, again, pub, right? So there's tables, a bar, and then, a kind of an island bar, where, if you have an island table in, a kitchen or something, where it's, disconnected from the rest of the counter space, but it's, a counter in the middle of the room on its own. So we were at this island in the pub, and my father notices a woman eating some fried food. And he goes, oh, that looks pretty good. I wonder what that is. And I said, well, yeah, we'll just find out. And he was like, what? And I'm like, well, I'll just go ask her what she's eating. And he's like, no, don't do that. I'm like, oh, what's the big deal? It's fine. It's what's going to happen. And he's like, no, don't do that. Maybe I should have listened to him.
Oh, lordy.
So I go over to this woman, and she's a Florida woman. She's got that, Florida tan where it's, she's a little too orangey, blonde hair, kind of, medium length, about middle-aged, I would get, 50s, question mark? And, I approach her, and I go, hey, I'm sorry to disturb you, but, I just noticed that you are eating this food, and it looks pretty cool, but I didn't know what it was. Do you mind telling me what you ordered? And she goes, oh no, just try it. And I go, what? And she like, and it's so the food is like a fried ball of thing. I don't know what type, but it's like imagine like a meatball, but deep fried. And, she goes, try it. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to eat your food. I just thought it looked good and I wanted to know what you ordered. And she just goes, no, try it. And I'm like, this isn't what I meant. And she was like, no, it's fine. Really? I insist that you try some of it. And I go, okay, I'll break it in half and I'll eat half of it. No. And so I break it in half and it is like mac and cheese and like some type of fish meat inside of it. And I pop half of it in my mouth and I'm like, yeah, this is mac and cheese and fish meat of some kind, or sea life meat. And I then just have half of this fried food ball in my hand. And she's like, I was like, this would be weird if I put it on her plate again. And she's kind of giggling at me, like, being awkward and, like everything that has just occurred. And I'm like, okay, I can roll with this. I roll with punches. Okay, I think. So I just eat the other half, and I'm like, yeah, that is good. Well, I guess that was the, like, I look at the menu. Fried mac and cheese and crab. And she's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, okay. And I forget the next exact sentences that occur, but the vibes was, thank you for the food. That was very kind of you. You didn't have to. And she goes, no, I'm glad you liked it. So, where are you from? Oh, I am from Jersey. And she's like, where are you from? And she's like, oh, Florida. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then we just start talking like, is this your first cruise? And like, no, I've gone on a few cruises because of my family and stuff.
So hold on. Mm-hmm. From your father's perspective, he has said, you're like, I'm going to go ask her what she's having because you want some. And he says, no, you don't have to do that. He sees you walk across the room, lean down, begin speaking to her. She hands you her food. You eat her food. And now you're like chit-chatting, talking about where you're from. And he's just like, that guy, my son just ate the food I wanted, and he's not even telling me what it is.
Yes.
And he's a new best friend. That's so funny.
So that was not quite his mental process, but I will get to that after the story from my perspective. But yeah, he did want some food, and then he just went into worry mode. As a slight teaser. So I asked her, like, oh, is this your first cruise? And she's like, oh, yes, it is. And I was like, oh, like, that's cool. Like, what made you come on this one? What do you, like, why did you, blah, blah, why, who, what, when, where, why, how? And she was like, oh, like, it's always been on my bucket list, and I just, like, I want to be braver, and, like, that's why, like, after this cruise, I'm gonna go skydiving. And I went, whoa, that's crazy. I personally would never go skydiving. I have too much fear, and I can freely admit that, and that's very brave on your part, and I think you're, good luck to you. And she's like, yeah, just so much happens and there's not enough time in life and you gotta do as much as you can. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And then we like talk a little bit about like, she's like, oh, like, you said you're with your family, but like, who is your family? And I was like, oh, like, my parents and my sibling. And she's like, okay, cool. Like,
50% of the story has been the word like.
Shut up, man. Like, what do you want from me? Like, what even? Fine, I can be challenged. So, I ask her, who are you here with? And she was like, oh, no one, I'm just here alone. And she, like, twirls her hair. And I'm like, I think to myself, oh, no, I'm in danger. I'm not actually in danger. But she starts, like, just kind of putting out signs, much more obviously at this point, of flirty vibes. And I go, oh, no. My father and sibling are here watching me in this interaction. So A, that's weird. B, I thought maybe she was just kind of friendly and had no filter. And that is still kind of true, I guess, but there are other intentions here, and I need to leave. And I'm not interested. And she starts putting out strong aura, and I go, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you have a good cruise. Maybe I'll see you again, maybe I won't. Deuces, peace out. I walk back to my father and go, I have to leave now. And I go down into the casino, the only place I can think to go, because it's nearby. And I just stand there and gather myself. My brother comes to me and is like, what the heck? What? And I just kind of word vomit, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is what happened. And he was like, this was hilarious. Let us go back to our father. And I go, okay. We go back, and at this point, my mother has rejoined, and he is telling her the story, and then the two of us, myself and my brother, rejoined them, and we're all just like, okay, we're all gonna reconvene and tell this. I tell what I just told. And my father goes, you approached her, and I thought that was crazy. And then you started talking to her, and she started to, twirl her hair and whatever. And I was like, oh no, my son is gonna get beat up by this woman's boyfriend or husband. And I was like, nah. And then he was just in a like, this is all because I wanted to know what food she was eating. And I was like, it's fine. Don't sweat it. And that's my story.
With only 12 additional likes in there.
No way!
Yes. So...
I don't believe you.
Well, you're wrong. The, I liked the insistence on, at the beginning of the episode, referring to your brother as Qui-Gon, but then totally dropping that.
I said sibling and brother. That's still... Qui-Gon Jinn is always a brother.
I like how your dad doesn't have the... He's like, oh no, Eric might get beaten up by this woman's husband or boyfriend. And then he just sits there and watches it happen. He doesn't go to save you.
He made his choices.
He went to get me food and now he can lie in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did your mother have any particular reaction? And then obviously, no. Second question, did you run into her again? No, I didn't. Which I'm very grateful for, because I don't know how, like, oh, hey, it's you from the first night, hi, so, no, yeah, thankfully, didn't see her again. I mean, hopefully she's doing fine, and she was nice enough, I just too much, too awkward. Yeah, that was it. It was too awkward. It wasn't that you were being flirted with when you didn't want to. It was just awkward. LOL. Quirky.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that is awkward?
No,
right?
If you were at speed dating and that lady was next, would you have still said no?
Yes.
Okay, so then the issue was not that it was just a little awkward. The issue was that you were being flirted with by a cougar.
Well, I was trying to make a cat joke in there somewhere, and I thought better of it.
You couldn't think of one. Okay, so
hey!
Was that the story? Mm-hmm. Earlier this week in our group chat, you said, I have a story, and then I intentionally didn't read it because I wanted to save it for the podcast. Is that story?
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yeah. We ended last episode, a little short, a little tight. I remember a few little quirky cruise things real quick, and it will have the word like way less in it. If we want to just burn through those really quick.
Sure, I will count. I'll give you a score at the end.
So there are 3, but I forget one. So there are 2 big controversies in the cruising community, I guess I'll say. One, and I will just kind of present them, and I would like to hear your take.
Okay. Just so you know, that like doesn't count because you used it correctly.
Thank you.
So that yes. I will be, discerning between the 2. Yes. Okay. Tell me, and then I will tell you my take.
So the first controversy is, do you know those like little rubber ducks that you can like get them in the bathtub, or like people in traditionally Jeeps will have them like in their windshield display? You know what I'm talking about?
You're just talking about rubber ducks?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you said like 4 times. Yes, I'm aware of rubber ducks.
No, okay. One of them I only half said it.
I'm aware of the concept of a rubber duck, yes.
But they're kind of small, they're not anything crazy. They, relatively cheap. So people will hide rubber ducks along the cruise ship where they can access. And it'll be, under a stair or on top of the elevator, or, next to, in a bush, or wherever you can think to hide one. That's not too difficult to hide. The main audience is supposed to be for the children, but it's for everyone. You like hide a duck, you find a duck, you keep it, or you re-hide it.
Okay, I'm following. I like it. You said like once. I like the concept, and I have another reason for enjoying it that I will explain probably at the end. I don't know how this could be controversial, so I guess I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. But so far, I very much enjoy this idea.
So the controversy, without being biased, is some people saying, I like this is fun, and other people saying, I hate this is not fun. And those sides clashing.
How does it affect
cruise
the people?
Etiquette.
How does it affect the people who don't like it in literally any way? You see a hidden duck under a stair, and you're like, oh, okay, the end. That's it.
To be biased, because I think this is silly, I think those people just have a stick up their butt. Like, they're like, oh no, there's a duck on the trash can, how am I gonna live? Like, I don't know. It is mainly for, like, the children, and like, they run around and they get all excited when they find one, and they're like, oh my gosh. So, I guess for the people with the stick up their butt, they're like, oh, it makes the children loud, and I truly have no idea. I don't know. I think they just have a stick up their butt.
There's non-family cruises. If you're going on a cruise that allows children, there will be children. Get over it.
Yes.
And that sounds like just a fun, universal, like, thing where it's like, oh, we're gonna, everyone knows to hide ducks on cruises, and so kids will enjoy it, and it's just a fun thing that's happening. I also, one of the reasons, I guess, if it's not gonna, like, if you're not gonna mention it, because I don't know if this is part of it,
Okay.
one of the reasons why that's probably a good thing is that it requires the janitor people to clean better, especially between cruises, because if they know that there could be stuff hidden everywhere, they have to check every little nook and cranny. So that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I did not think of that. I wonder if they would even clean it, though, or if they would be like, I'm just gonna leave it for the next child to find it. Yeah, huh. I don't know.
All right, so that's the controversy, is just
That's
people don't
controversy
like ducks?
one. People don't like
Okay.
ducks. Ducks exist.
Mm-hmm.
Controversy 2. You can get room service. You can get food to your room. From, like, you can walk down to the little cafe or whatever and, just get a tray of whatever food and then bring it back to your room. So it is, and you can also, like, when you go to dinner or the buffet, you can always bring food back to your room. No one is going to stop you. If you're like me, you're like, whoa, I'm going to eat too much food in my room. And so the big stink that some people have is when you finish your food from your room, where do you put the plates, the tray?
Like right outside your door, probably. Right outside your door.
So here is the controversy. If it is outside your door, that is unsightly. And the other end says, well, if it's in my room, that is it's clutter and possibly smelly, and I don't want them in my room.
Well, it goes outside because then the cleaning people come and they clean it, because that's what they are for.
Yes.
Yes, so it goes outside the door.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
And yeah, you put it outside the door.
Yeah.
And I think this is the dumbest one, because everyone's like, whoa, no, you keep it in your room, and no, it should be outside. And it's like, okay, what does the cruise line say to do with it? Oh, they say to put it outside your door. so it can get cleaned.
Keep it in your room until what?
Your
until
room does
service?
get cleaned every day.
Okay. I still think that's obviously the intention is that it should be outside.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. If you have like 10 trays or something, I guess that could create a walking hazard or something, but like, who has 10 trays? No one. The most I saw was like 2 or 3 trays, and you just stack them. So those are the cruising controversies. And I think they're stupid because they're stupid.
Yes.
One of them has a direct, like, procedure from the cruise line, yes. And the other one is, oh, you hate children. or fun and whimsy.
Yes, or you hate things that have absolutely no effect on you. So,
yeah,
shut up.
Yeah.
I can't wait for our listeners to be like, I go on cruises every 6 months and I hate the ducks. Let me tell you about how evil those stupid, disgusting people who put their trays outside are.
Yeah. Hey, if you're one of those people,
get a life.
I have no beef with you, personally. So that's That's kind of it. Those are the exciting things from the cruise story that I did not get out last time.
Well, on the subject of getting mad at each other,
Okay.
we have an email.
Oh, okay, great.
It's from Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
She says, "Hey, you two. We're at a lovely halfway point in the year. I think we're pretty far past that.
Oh,
I
it's only 2
It's
months,
August.
3 months.
I just
Oh,
want to
yeah.
see. I want to see if your opinion has changed on one thing. Is a hot
Okay.
dog a sandwich?"
Okay, great. And what were our opinions before? Do you know
I
off
don't
the
remember.
top of your head?
I have no idea what yours was.
Okay, what was yours?
It is obviously not.
Okay, what is it now?
It's still obviously not.
Okay, interesting. So it has not changed.
No, why would it have changed in the last... I don't
Maybe
know,
you would have become
year or so?
wiser. Maybe you would have
No.
been smarter. Maybe you would have seeked enlightenment in the realm of sandwiches and cuisine.
What's your answer?
So I have like a halfway BS kind of answer where if you put a hot dog in a hot dog bun, it is not a sandwich. When the hot dog bun breaks
Oh my
and
God.
becomes two separate pieces of bread, it is then a sandwich.
No, it's an improperly constructed hot dog.
It's not improper, it's just broken.
Yes, it's broken. It's improper.
Broken, It's...
Oh man, I was having an omelet. I was having an omelet, and then I cut into it with my fork, and the moment I cut into it with my fork, it became scrambled eggs.
That's not how that...
I agree, that's not how that works.
But that, no, because scrambled eggs is just eggs scrambled. If you break an omelet...
And sandwich is just thing between two pieces of bread.
Yes. It goes from one bread to two bread.
No. It goes from together in one omelet to being, like, messy all over the place.
No, because omelet has other stuff in it. Omelet is more than just egg. Scrambled egg is just egg.
No, you can put cheese on top of scrambled eggs, or I guess people can put, like, bacon bits in scrambled eggs or whatever.
I mean, I guess you could do it as a garnish or something, but that's...
I think that's typical.
Really? I don't
know.
I had a big egg phase, and then I got so much, like, heartburn from it. I was like, I need to cut back on the eggs. So it's been a long time since I've had some.
I've never heard of heartburn from eggs.
Well, it was really throat burn, but I feel like when I say stuff like that, people don't get it.
Bro, are you allergic to egg?
No.
I've never heard of throat burn, let alone throat burn from egg. What is throat burn?
Here's the other thing. Do you know throat freeze? I bet not.
No, what are you talking about?
So, you know brain freeze?
Yes.
I will rarely get brain freeze. However, I am much more likely to get it in my throat. Of like throat freeze, of like the effect of brain freeze, but just in the throat.
I think you have allergies.
No. Well, I've just been allergic to ice cream, eggs, etc. for years of my life without knowing. I think not. And Slurpees? Slurpees are ice and, I don't know, color.
You mean ices?
Yeah, Slurpee.
Ices. See, now Sophie is
we hate each other.
Unintentionally reignited the first ever argument we had on the show, which was, are they called ices or Slurpees or slushies?
I mean, if you call them slushy. Is slushy better than icy?
Yes, icy's the brand name.
Yeah, but that... Okay, you know what? Speaking of, I've never called anything a Kleenex. I'm not like, oh, okay, great. I'm not like, I need to wipe this down. Hand me a Kleenex. No,
but have you ever called a Band-Aid a medical adhesive strip or a Q-tip a cotton swab on a stick or whatever? No, you call those by their brand names. Band-Aid and Q-tip.
Okay, but that's not fair because they just did it too good.
Yes, like just because for me a tissue is the word and Kleenex is not, but for me a Q-tip is the word and a cotton swab is not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just too good. Band-Aid and Q-tip are just too good. What's some other ones of those?
For when I was a kid, all video games were Nintendo.
Oh, I hate that.
I had to ask, I always had to ask my parents' permission to do it. First, it was that they had to physically turn it on because I was incapable. But then, like, the rule was you had to ask before you could play video games. So I'd be like, can I play Nintendo? And even if I was talking about, like, the PS2, it was still, can I play Nintendo? And I think that was pretty universal. Maybe not for you, because you never had that.
Way.
But going back to the 80s and 90s, and I guess bleeding into my youth, that was a pretty common thing.
I guess, yeah, because, well, I had Nintendo handhelds, but I had PlayStation consoles. But my parents would occasionally be like, do you remember when the SP came out, the Game Boy Advance SP, at the end of its life, and, like, the Nintendo DS, like, original had just come out, and they had a brief intersection time.
Yeah.
I remember I was like, I wanted to get I think Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red, and
I know where this is going.
And we were in, like, a Walmart or something, and you have to, like, ask an employee to, like, unlock it and get the game for you. And so I was, it was like, it must have been my birthday or something, and I was like, Mom, I want that one. And she was like, okay. And she, like, got the employee or whatever and was like, oh, my son wants this for his Game Boy. And I was like, or she just pointed at the DS, and I was like, no, I need this one, because it's for the Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah. And she was like, don't you just have a Nintendo? And I was like, no, things have names and words for a reason.
Yeah, so when the Mystery Dungeon games came out, Red Rescue Team was only on Game Boy, and Blue Rescue Team was only on DS. So if she had gotten you the blue one, it physically would not have worked on your Game Boy.
Yes. Yeah. And even, people that call the remote clicker, I mean, that's less of kind of goes back to the Q-tips things, but, like, no, it's a remote. It is remotely controlling your TV. Well, I'm going to call it the clicker because it used to make clicky noises.
I've never had a remote that made clicky noises. They were always the soft, mushy button ones.
Yeah, same. Yeah. That's a remote.
Wow. I think that when we're talking about clickiness of remotes, we've gotten a little off topic of the hot dog. The answer is hot dogs are not a sandwich. The end.
Yeah, when the bun breaks, it becomes a sandwich.
Wow. What have you been doing since you got home from the cruise?
Well, so one of the things that happened that I have, you know what? One thing that has happened, people may remember I have animals, pets, you would say. One of which is a dog, and she's just, a mutt, and she had a fatty tissue, and we got it, like, checked out, like, a year or two ago. And the doctor was like, oh, it's just fatty tissue. It's fine. It's not going to harm her in any way. And we were like, okay. And from that time when we got her checked out to like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever, it went from like itty bitty ball sized to the size of my fist. And we were like, he said it wasn't cancerous or anything, but it's like pushing up against her ribs, and she's a dog and can't tell if this is like hurting her or anything. So we were like, we're just gonna get it removed. Better safe than sorry. And she's good. Everything's fine. But now she has to wear a shirt, essentially, that, it goes over her little paws, and it like covers her entire torso, basically, underside and upside, stomach and back, and she hates it. And I can't help. She's always been good at giving you puppy dog eyes and just being like, oh, are you eating? Can I have some of your food? That would be really nice. And then now that she wears this shirt, she's never had to wear things like this, really. And she's just depressed looking when she wears it. Like, her puppy dog eyes get even more intense. She puts her tail between her legs. She didn't, in the first few days especially, she just didn't know how to, like, move efficiently in it, because, it kind of goes down a little bit on her paws. Not, like, all the way down, but, like her, I don't know, dog anatomy. Like, her shoulder paw.
Shoulder paw.
I don't know. It goes down, like, a quarter of the way, so
her arm,
it's not hitting her elbow or anything, but it's, and yeah, and she just looks at you and is just like, I'd be really happy if you took this off of me, but I get it. You want me to be in pain and suffer. And I'm like, no, I don't. You don't understand. This is good for you, I promise. And that we do take it off of her, because it, like, again, covers so much of her. We have to take it off of her to go to the bathroom. And we just, like, put her on the leash and, like, walk her out. And she's so happy. She shakes. Aww. She's like, oh my gosh, I can move. She, like, walks around all comfortably. She, like, looks up at you like you've just saved her from the greatest torture she's ever known. And she's like, yeah, we're outside. We're gonna do things, and I don't have to wear this shirt. And then you're like, yeah, and that lasts for a little bit, and then, it's time for the shirt to go back on, and she has now gotten to the point where, like, she knows when the shirt has to go back on, and she's like, she moves a little lazily, and she's like, well, I guess if that's what you want to do, I'll and you're like, oh, come on, and she's like, oh, okay. And then she just looks at you all sad and depressed again. And she's like, why do you want this cycle to continue? But one day, she's also had to be shaved, which is it's just kind of weird. It's weird to see a dog and be like, oh, that's right, you have skin. Okay. Because they have fur. She has fur all over her, and like she has brown and black fur, and now there's like little tubs of pink, and I don't know. It's like, whoa, I'm not used to seeing pink on you.
But she's gonna be okay.
Yeah, she'll be good. I mean, the surgery was successful. Veterinarians, human doctors, doesn't matter what kind. I think they're incredible and kind of magic now, because I barely even saw the scar from, like, where she had to get, like, sewed up after, you know, being cut open. And I was just like, oh, you know, where's the scar? I don't see it. And I was pointed out to me, and I was like, oh, dang. I couldn't, it's crazy. Medicine has advanced so much. And she has dissolvable sutures, which I know aren't super new. So, like, we don't have to go back to the vet for them to, like, be removed or anything. They'll just go away on their own. And it's like, it's just magic.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in terms of things different from being home, we have to, there was a very, very tiny accident that happened, and, we now have to rent a car, and this car is probably, like, from 2020, like it's only a few years old, I would guess. And I am used to cars from, like, a decade or more ago, because that's just what I've had.
I drove a 2003 car for quite a while.
Yeah, right? And so this new car, like, all the gauges that your speedometer, your gas, your accelerometer, your temperature of the engine, all of that stuff is now just a screen and digital, and there's a screen with the, like, backup camera and all that stuff, and it's and it's like an uninterrupted screen from the digital accelerometer and all that. There's no key. It's just a button.
I don't like that.
I don't like it. So one of the things, we had to drop off, you know, the car at the body shop and, you know, get the rental car. So someone had to pick us up from the body shop to get the rental car. And that car, it didn't have a stick shift of any kind to go from drive, reverse, neutral, etc. park. They were switches that he flipped. And I'm like, what are cars now? And I kind of feel like a boomer. Like, I'm just like, where did my analog pieces go? It's all digital and weird and new now. Modern cars are crazy. And if it's doing what I think it's doing, I guess it's good. But, like, this car will, if you're at, like, a red light or something, you know, I guess it determines just by how long you've been holding down the brake. It, like, turns the engine off, but the car is on. But if you let go of the brake, it will turn the engine back on. So I guess you don't idle as much or at all at a red light. But the first time it happened, you know, the car was making noise and vibrating, and then it stopped, and I was at the red light, and I was like, what? And then it turned green, and I just let go, and it came back on, and it was fine. And I was like, I guess this is just cars. What? Yeah. And I went to turn it off, and the car was like, cool, I'm in accessory mode now. And I'm like, what? Are you off? All the lights and stuff are still on, and it's just a button. I can't alternate. So I called my mom, and I was like, I don't know if the car is off, and I feel dumb. And it turns out when it's in accessory mode, you just open the door and then it fully turns off. And I didn't realize how much cars have changed, and it's wild.
Understandable. I've had a backup camera thing for a while. And yeah, mine also has the speedometer is just numbers projected on a screen instead of a dial. And it is nicer, just because you can tell exactly how fast you're going instead of having to, like, check, like, oh, the little red line is, like, halfway between the 35 and the 40, so I'm going 37. No, it just tells you. And the backup camera's nice. But I don't like the idea of switches instead of having a stick to change your thing. That's kind of weird. Some cars have dials. Like a little dial, like a radio knob that changes from back up to front up. And I'm like, but what if you accidentally just turn the dial?
Yeah! You're just like, I'm gonna adjust the volume, and I'm going in reverse now.
Oh, the entire car exploded.
Crazy.
Wow.
What, I want to hear more, what... Do you think the accessory mode is dumb too? I need validation, Devin.
What specifically is the dumbest part?
I don't know. You know, and I think this is a little bit of me being a boomer on the inside. It's very convenient to have the backup camera or, like, connecting your phone to the car via Bluetooth or whatever, and then you have, like, your GPS, like, just with a nice big screen, and you can clearly see where you need to turn, or you're listening to music or something. It's a lot easier to interface with the accessory parts of driving. However, I hate that there's a screen in front of my face. I have my phone, I have my computer, I have a TV if I wanted to. Like, there's so many opportunities where, like, oh, I have to look at a screen for work or for leisure or for... Because I'm in a waiting room. And then you're like, hey, are you driving? Can I interest you in a screen? And I'm like, no, you can't. Stop tempting me.
Well, we've talked about boats. We've talked about cars. Do you have any plane stories?
Hey, you know what? I slept like a champ on the planes. I just was passed out for the entire flight. And that was nice. That's my plane story. Quick, tell us one about trains.
I don't have any about trains. I haven't been on a train. I've done nothing for 2 weeks.
What opinion on train go?
I despise trains. I hate everything about trains. No more trains allowed.
I'm so sorry you feel that way and that you're wrong.
I'm just ahead of my time.
You're not ahead of your time on trains. Trains are beautiful.
Trains should no longer exist.
Get out. Well, first of all,
I will get out of here. I'll get out of here in my car that doesn't need to drive on stupid tracks and also doesn't have a screen.
Well, trains might, I guess.
No, like your car has a screen.
Yeah.
And you don't like it, but my car doesn't have a screen like that. And it can drive anywhere it wants and not be stuck on stupid train tracks because trains are stupid.
They have a purpose. There's a reason for it.
Freight trains are fine.
Oh, well, I mean, okay, that's like half of trains, so. But metro trains are still good.
I hate everything about trains. Do you have anything else? Because I don't.
What? You can't just tell them that. Look at them. You've made them nervous.
Well, I had a special ending for when you were done.
Oh. Yeah. Good. Okay. You have to be quick, though. They're still nervous.
Okay, well, I don't have anything. Do you have anything else, Eric?
No.
Okay, well, We'll see everyone next time. We're going to go now, because me and Eric have something important to do.
Goodbye, everybody.
You're supposed to say, what do we have to do?
What do we have to do?
We're going to record some more lines for Clifford. See you next time.
Oh my gosh. Bye.